Hi everybody, 26th of October, another day in my daily diaries of how I now cope with the loss of my wife due to Parkinson's. I got up this morning and got over to the cemetery this morning. That was hard actually this morning because even though I've been a couple of times, when I got there today, with it all being, like a week, just over a week, some of the flowers was all, because it was lashing down and windy, and there's days running about on that cemetery as well. So the days had been eating some of the flowers. We knew that would happen anyway, but so it just looked a bit bedraggled. Even like the big mound had settled a bit. But just the flowers were. I took a cloth and wiped all the headstone down, and moved it, just straightened it up a little bit. But it just looked a bit sad. I told her, I'm going to come over next weekend. I'll bring me some bags with me, because by next week the flowers won't be much good. So I'll get them all taken off next week and just leave the ones, they like the mum and nan. I think they should still be all right. But anyway, I'll see next week. But I want to smart it up. I'll take my spade and my bucket and some big bags, and I'll level it all off tomorrow, next week. I'll level it off and then give it another couple of weeks maybe. I'll see how it is next week, and then I'll get some topsoil, spread some topsoil on it. Then it's got a mound of mud and bricks and earth. It'll look better if I just put some topsoil down on it, and then come spring, I'll get a bit of turf and put some turf down. I'm not going to put grass seeds down because they'll just get eaten. So I'll put some turf down in spring. But in the meantime, it needs tidying up. I want it looking better than it's gonna do it next couple of weeks. And it just sort of looked a bit, well, that's it now. It's over and done with, and it's now going to that's just the impression I got. It's now we're just going to get looking a bit bedraggled and forgotten. I know gravesides are not for everybody, and to be fair, they're not for me, or they never have been. But I can't let this just go. I can't let Angie's go. It'd be better, come next summer when it's all settled and I've levelled it all off and it's just a headstone. It'll all be nice and neat. I've not got, little wall around it like some people do, and all sorts of little knickknacks and things. I don't know. I just want a nice, neat headstone and a place for some flowers, and nice, and I'll get it all sorted. But until I do, it just looks a bit unkept, and that's never been Angie. Never been unkept. She always kept herself smart, and you never see her going out anywhere without her makeup or, in some old scruffs. She always, made an effort and got dressed properly. Even the house was never, always had to be right. She went over the top, but it was never unkept, as they say. And that's what the grave looked like today. So I can't let it look like that for any longer. So I'm going to sort it next Saturday. I took measurements and that on the bench. I went and had a look at the bench. I couldn't sit down. I was wanting to sit down on it for a while, but he was lashing it down. So I had my coat on and what have you. So I did what I had to do. And I stood by, had a chat to Angie for a good 25 minutes after I'd finished sort of half tidying it. And then I went over to the bench and took some measurements, and I'm going to get them timbers this week at the local shop. I'll go and get them to cut them to size, and then next Saturday when I go over, Saturday or Sunday, I'll take a couple of tools with me and see what it needs to take it all apart. First, I'll just, just make sure I can get it and then go the week after with, all my proper tools then, and because by then I'll have varnished them all and I can go over and drill holes and put them back. So yeah, within the next couple of weeks it should be all right. And order my new plaque. So I've stood and told her all this today. I've told her it all. But again, asking her for a sign. Asked her to give me a sign again. I went and picked the young ones up and grandsons and we went bowling. Good day actually. Cost me a small fortune, but that's what it's about. That's what it's all about. Of course, you sat there waiting for my turn and just looking at all, they're all playing and laughing, and little Lottie couldn't even pick her ball up properly. She needed that little ramp to. She's like that, trying to put it like Jeff Capes trying to put it on. And I'm just sat there thinking, if only Angie was sat here with us. So it's just things like that. You're just constantly looking and comparing it all the time. Comparing. Didn't say anything to any of them, I didn't want to spoil the day. Not that, you know what I mean, not spoil the day, but didn't want any of them to get on any sort of a downer. Our grandson's, he was in prison, his son came with us today. He got really upset, come giving me a hug. He come really upset, started crying, and I haven't seen him, you see, since before Angie's leaving do. So that was heartwarming, should we say, even though it was upsetting. I know. And then it was from the bowling. I actually finished last. I told them before, I used to be a world champion bowling, 10-pin bowler. So of course, I just had to let you win. I couldn't beat you all, could I? I had to let you win, so yeah. And then we went in the arcade because there's an arcade attached to it. So it was either, I think it was just short of £500,000. It cost me in there. Can I have another £1, Grandad? Can I have another £1, Grandad? Yeah, there's £5 for you, dish a lot, and there's another £5, and then he kept coming back for another £1. Anyway, Grandad managed to win one of them teddies for Lottie. What the grabber thing you put in, it picks it up, and so I won one of them for her. So that was a feather in my cap, so yeah. And then we all went into McDonald's. Again, McDonald's is all right as a treat every now and again. So overall it was a costly day financially, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it costs today. It's a day that we needed. It's a day that's needed. So it's a pity that Cordelie, Joe and her two weren't with us as well, but they're still away. They're coming home tomorrow from that weekend in the caravan with Joe's brother and his family. So Cordelie's texted me today, do I want to go pumpkin picking with them on Tuesday? She was booking it. So I said, yeah. So another reason to go over that way, and then I'll go pumpkin picking with them. I set off Tuesday morning. I said, I'll do the gym and get off straight after the gym, be over there. So, because we went, me and Angie went pumpkin picking with them last year. But looking back at some of the photos now, it probably wasn't that good of an idea because she wasn't with it, Angie, last. You don't realise, but I was pushing around in a wheelchair. It was all muddy. I mean, Angie was all right. We just, me in the wheelchair was getting muddy, but just when you look at some of the photos, you can tell I don't even really think she knew where she was, to be honest, on some of the photos. I hope she did. I hope she did. Because she used to love out like that, getting involved with the kids, doing stuff like that. Even if I was working, she'd always join in and go here, there and everywhere with them. Doing this, doing that. Especially like pumpkin. She used to go strawberry picking and stuff like that with them. Like when Cordeline was a young un. Go out strawberry picking and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I'm not been in that long, and I've just made a coffee and a jump in shower, and I might have a sandwich or something. Just make myself a quick sandwich or some whatever I've got in, and have a chat. Well, not a long chat with Mr. Daniels tonight. I got a bit carried away with him last night. I can go on a bit too much sometimes. So I will, and then I'll try and get in bed a bit earlier tonight. Get up and get to the gym, and I don't know what I'll do tomorrow afternoon. I'll see if I can get a bit more packing done or something, because I need to get back on to getting some of that done. Trying to be Tuesday, kind of, because I'm out pumpkin picking. It's a bit of a mouthful, that, pumpkin picking on Tuesday. So overall, today's been probably a better day than yesterday. But a lot more downs today. But, a lot more ups. And the downs were sort of, like, stood by the graveside this morning. Tears were flowing. I didn't do much crying yesterday. I did some, but not as much as I'd done today. Then after I'd done, I was driving from the cemetery going over to pick the lads and kids up. I lost it a bit in the car. So I had to compose myself before I went in to pick them up. And then coming home, I took like a long route home, took a bit of a scenic route coming home. And again, so I had a bit of a meltdown. A bit teary and a bit of a meltdown. But at least it gets it out of me anyway. Got it out of me. So, right, so I'm going to get off now and get me, I'll finish my brew, make a sandwich, I'll finish this brew. And then get me shower and get me lounges on. And then see what tomorrow brings. Alright, so again, thanks for your comments. Press your like buttons, follow me, and forward these on for me, and let's keep it going. Alright, thank you very much. And as per usual, you take care now. Bye.